Alright, welcome back. This will be a framework for me to share how you can transit. I'm going to skip this first. My last. Alright, the transition. This is my own personal experience. I call it a 4C model because I try to fit in collaborate, comprehend, credibility, coordinate. You don't have to use this, but this is what I use to classify my thoughts. Number one, collaborate, of course, is work closely with your commercial team, whomever is your commercial team partner. Mission, vision, understand their mission, vision, formulate the mission, vision that can support them. It can be, organization always have the overall mission and vision, but that one is too big. When it comes down to the level where you are doing with a business partner, you can actually form a mission and vision on how we want to support them in a very, very small level. Like you see, right, Singapore government has an overall, then when you drill down to the ministry, drill down to the constituency, where you live and things like that, so in your own functional area, there's the opportunity to define your mission, vision, how you want to support your business partner. So seek agreement with them. What are the things you want to help them? Comprehend, this is always a big challenge because, we are not the technical expertise. Some department, maybe customer, you might know, sales and marketing, you might know. But some of the engineering. So how? Let me share with you my story. Credibility, you must understand some before you can give a recommendation, right? To get a credibility. Let me share with you a bit more. And also coordinate. At the end of it, I always start off with some cross functional projects team. So this will allow us to achieve the finance business partnering objective. Okay, so let me explain point by point. My story before break. I don't need to repeat, right? Old newspaper and stuff like that. Okay, there are more, but these three are the most prominent. I never forget in my life. Okay, the first point, I really mentioned vision and mission. It's good to understand the companies as a whole, their mission and vision, so that within these pockets, we want to plan how we're going to do from transactional into transformational. So a few things, the strategic objective. I understand previously that our company main objective is to capture more sales from existing customer. Okay, the existing customer at that point in time was not giving us a lot of sales, 5-10% of their total requirement. So there was a big strategic objective within the organization to capture more sales from existing customer. After we keep getting all that comment, the three main comments, I came on top of it by telling my boss, okay, why don't I speak to those commercial people and tell them and ask them or consult them, what can we do to serve you better? So it didn't start from, it started from 3 points which my boss was keep drumming in my head. Then with that, I went to the commercial team and say, hey, how can I help you better? I took the steps, not sit there and wait for the rabbit to hit the tree. There's a story, the rabbit, this farmer, he saw a rabbit hitting the tree, thought there was food, so he's always waiting for the rabbit to hit the tree. No, I went out to ask the commercial team. Some of those involve big capex spending, which we need the board approval. And of course, all this, when I ask the commercial teams, I always center around this PNC, always PNC, PNC, and PNC. So understand that PNC part first. The pain point was 3 at that point in time. The first thing, we were not delivering on time. Most of our order were delivered way off the order fulfillment timing. Number 2, new product launch, they were not on time and off budget. This is terrible, for a product company. If you spend more every time and your product launch is late, that is a big cost. There's also price war. Everybody was using price to capture the market share. So how can we capture more sales? Since our overall objective is to capture more sales from existing customers. So remember this value stick. So the mutual agreement I had was that we help to study the end-to-end value chain process. So we know where are the issues. Project accounting was used to resolve the second one. There were no project accounting. So the project engineering director, he just do whatever he could. So we came up with something to work together with him. And third, we have to improve all the business analytics of our customers and obtain external data. So these are three things that, because of customer pain point, we agree these three things to support them. Okay. Now I want to ask everybody for a question. Now, during my process of understanding this, I went to the marketing director. So he told me, hey, I have a lot of staff, they've actually resigned. So I have nobody to do the sales analysis, the price number 3, price war, how to capture more sales, we have to do more analysis of our customer. He said, hey, I have no time, can you guys take over? You take over my analysis of the sales analysis. So if this happened, what would you do? This question was very major for me at that point in time. There are a lot of issues that happened, but this was the most classic one. The most powerful guy in the organization is normally the sales and marketing director, because he actually brings in the customer and the sales. Maintain the customer, bring new customer. So he came, when I asked him, hey, how can I serve you better? He said, no, I have no staff to do analysis. You guys take over. Finance and accounting will take over. If that happens to you today, what would you do? You guys take over. I'm no time. Take over. What would you do? Very tricky question. It took me a long time to figure out a win-win. Let's go through this exercise. Oh, my staff, they resign, high turnover, so I cannot keep my staff. So I have no time to do all this analysis.
Just grab the CEO, grab the sales director, grab the finance boss, then go sit down. Then maybe plan to maybe outsource both points.
So fast to grab the CEO already.
I mean,
okay, good suggestion. Very good suggestion. Anyone? How about this side? Anyone? I'm going through this because I'm quite sure when you start your finance business partnering, you're going to face tons and tons of similar situations like this. I guarantee you, because I face so many. What would you do? You gave a very good point. What would you do? Anything, no right or wrong answer.
Find out the root cause. Find out the root cause why staff turnover so high.
Yeah, because two reasons. That's okay. Leadership, okay, in general, leadership. Secondly, there was also a factor that he wants to push it away. So anything happens, it's not his problem. I saw that. Okay. Does it answer? Okay, give you more context. What would you do? Hard to draw the line. Very hard to draw the line. Anybody? Any bright ideas? What would you do? Oh, very smart. Very politically correct. Yes, anyone? This is very good, in fact.
maybe for the business analytics, ask IT to give
Yes.
very
Yes.
direct approach to capture
Okay. Yes. Anyone? This That's very, wow, you already brought in two very good points. Anybody wants to add before I share with you what happened? Me.
Committee, set up committee.
Oh, committee.
Get the two department
Okay.
people involved.
Okay. He's just asking you to do the business analytics, also must set up committee. Hey, you do for me lah. I have no time. You do for me. Then must set up committee. That could be an idea, but are we creating a lot of, meetings and red tapes, bureaucracy, Anybody wants to, before I share with you what happened to me? Okay. Anyone? No? Okay. What happened was, he's a very powerful person. He was actually targeted. They actually identified him to take over the CEO role in 5 years' time. So I'm walking on eggshell. If I push so hard, it's potentially a career damaging path. So what I did was I understand what he PNC. You must understand PNC first. If you don't have PNC, you cannot build even the basic rapport. So go there and listen. Okay. After I listened, then I did explore a few options. I didn't tell him, I didn't commit myself because I'm also not authorized to commit to him, right? So I went back to study the various options. One of the options is, what are the business analytics software that we can use? If you have high staff turnover, you can still get auto reports. At that point in time was business intelligence, Power BI. I'm not sure whether you guys use Power BI. Power BI is a very useful tool. All you need to do is download all the necessary report from the ERP and then upload into Power BI. They can generate the reports that you want, the analytics report. So this is one of the IT tools that I thought about. Second, I went to speak to the HR and then I asked him, how come the turnover is so high? Of course, there are personal reasons and professional reasons. I shall not delve into this, but I do speak to a few more stakeholders first to mentally think of a few options. Okay, so business analytics, strengthening on the recruitment part, and then third, how can I work with him? Because we also have our routine work. You mean now I recruit people to serve you 100% and my work don't have to do? So where to find the balance? Now with these three things, I went to speak to the group CFO. We have an ultimate holding company group CFO, so I went to speak to him. I told him, hey, we have this request from the business unit. I think it's a very valid one. I see some opportunities. Now, the one that we should be doing is actually the Power BI. I went to check the costs. It was not very expensive. Tableau, Power BI, these tools. You guys don't use Power BI, right? Do you use? No? Okay. It's a very Microsoft tools. It's actually very powerful, very cheap as well. All you need to do is to dump in the Excel. Some of them you can do a drag and drop. Some of them become some of your reports that you can email out. It's a very cheap solution. So I thought, hey, we can implement that to help him. Then secondly, we have to help him in the staff strengthening part. And third, whatever we promise him, let's surface it in the management meeting and make sure everybody's aligned to make sure that finance accounting, when we commit to service the marketing director, provide this kind of service, everybody agrees and it becomes part of our KPI. Don't do it for nothing. You do it for then end of it, the bosses, everybody, hey, how are you so busy? Oh, because I'm busy with doing the marketing analytics. The people are not there, so I started to make sure the management is aware of this and they support. Now, what happened was the Power BI was very easy. We quickly buy the license and then we implemented through some help. We even get some summer intern to come in to write the report, because the first time you want to construct those reports, somebody got to write it. So it's not difficult, it's just that you need manpower. So we didn't want to disrupt everybody's work. We're getting the summer intern. Those universities very hungry, I want to work in a listed company for their summer job. Come in, we engage a group of them, then they write the report. Number two, HR also came in to help strengthen the high turnover. Third, the management meeting, eventually something very surprising. They told us, oh, finance accounting, maybe you don't have to help so much on the sales, rather, you let the sales people do it, the reports are going to be automated, you let the sales people continue to do this, then you play another role. You identify opportunities together with the sales and marketing head. Okay, this is what happened. And this happened only because of the consultation. I went through the consultation, don't commit yourself, understand first the PNC, then go up, discuss the various options within our team, then after that go and propose during management meeting. So everybody was on board. And eventually the results was, they didn't dump the whole thing to finance accounting. We did another way is to give ideas, opportunities, or blind spots. Okay? So be careful of this. Do discuss with your boss, Joseph, anything that you want to do, because you're going to face a lot of this, especially if you deal with your partners directly. And if you commit without your boss knowing, it's going to be a big issue. And next time it's not part of your KPI. Do you agree? You might do it differently. Okay, please feel free to do it differently. I'm not the masters of all, but this is one method that works for me. Now back in 2018, I was given so much pressure to transform finance. So I went to take this AICPA, which is actually CIMA. They actually did this thing, two framework: evolution of finance department, information, analyze, insight, advise, and impact. So I use this as a framework to present to the board. And another framework here: reporting, questioning, developing solutions, deploying solutions. Some of the wordings that guide us, accounting domain to working with others. So I use this and I share with them where is finance accounting department right now. We have quite a lot of people deployed here. We can ask the questions when the numbers comes out, but we are very far away from these two. So I tell them where we are. Then remember, mission and vision, finance accounting, you can construct your own. Whether you're a senior accountant, whether you are a manager or what, in your own area, functional area that you're working, you can construct the mission and vision. You can say, in 3 to 5 years time, how can I move into these two? For example, number one, we are coming out with a new software. How can I quickly kill off all the Excel that I'm doing until they automatically generate from the system? Number one. Number two, from there, how can I get knowledge to do these two? The knowledge part is a big issue because I also don't know the knowledge part. And I share with them my 3 to 5 years plan to get there. Okay, so these two are something which I will share and hopefully you can find useful. Comprehend. Now, a lot of automation. Now, I'm quite sure SAP has this because the SME is using it. You can actually scan invoices. Invoices, not those typewritten ones. Now, the scanning technology is so advanced that the handwritten invoice, you can actually scan, take your phone, the apps, scan, automatically get captures, go through the usual approval process. However you want to set it, how many people want to approve, go ahead with your authorization matrix. Then that captures directly into your debit and credit. Of course, setting this up requires time, right? You have to check to make sure. Once you set it up once, this is going to be automated. And of course, you have consolidation, your group consolidation software. We implemented Power BI is something is cheap and is quite effective if you ever want to look at it. Now we have Gen AI, generative AI. I will use the Coca-Cola case to share with you what Coke is doing for generative AI, so you can get more concept. But the first thing you have to do, you have to free up your capacity. If 80% of your work is in the routine work, remember the fighter pilot, the cockpit, he's, wow, this guy, how can you do it, right? You have to automate these into digital form. Then you can talk about finance, business partnering, and understanding these things like value creation, business model, KPI, in the context of PNC. Now, the value chain that I tried to do was each department, I got to understand their major value drivers. So, I managed to put in the top 3. The question is, if I go to these people directly, do you think by asking they will tell me? What do you think? How many of you think that when I go and ask these people, they are going to tell me? what's their key value drivers? How many don't think that they will share with us? Just one person, the rest no? How many have no opinion? Raise both hands if you have no opinion. You okay? Everybody still with me? Now, everybody has their turf to protect in an organization. It's very normal. I'm not saying this is good or bad, because everybody will be seen as an expert. For example, in the cockpit example, the CTO is definitely an expert into the IT system. Chief Operating Officer, procedures, operations, right? So we are also domain expert in our own area. So when you ask them, sometimes they will share, sometimes they won't share. It depends on your personal relationship with them, right? We're all human, right? You know somebody better, you help them more. This is just human. So what for me was I package this as a project. When you do a project, they have to disclose some, So from there, I obtain the understanding of some of these key value drivers. Now these are important because the key value drivers, you can set up KPI. Once you set up the operational KPI, everybody's going to benefit. They are going to benefit. You as a finance accounting person can also move one step towards understanding more about the business, the internal part, especially the technical part. Make sense? Credibility. Now credibility, I want to use the tennis game method because this was the thing that worked for me. Now, a tennis player actually spend about 2 or 3 times a day, one day, practicing tennis. Morning they wake up, they practice. After lunch, they go and practice. After dinner, they still go and practice. Okay? So, to be a good finance business partner, what we did was, we actually asked each department A, B, C, D, E, take turn, each department to go and teach about their value drivers and their KPIs. So when, for example, Department A, they do the teaching, people from Department B, C, D, E, and Finance Accounting all can attend. And they do it continuously like the tennis game method. They have it once a month, twice a month, schedule the time, they have that training session. So people will take turn to go and understand it. Why? At the point in time, I try to be effective because if I go directly to all these functional heads, they may or may not tell me. So I told my boss, I said, hey, we also wanted to improve the collaboration of our whole organization. Why don't we do it in a teaching form and share knowledge? And finance accounting is also happy to conduct classes that can benefit the other departments. So the idea was debated among the management team, or eventually I told my boss this thing. You always complain about me giving you old newspaper, see smoke without fire, all that kind of thing. Now I come up with this tennis game method. We don't have enough knowledge. We get all the department to teach, cross-teach each other. We can get an external facilitator because sometimes some departments are more protective, or they will say they have no time. So we can do it internally, or we can get a mix and match trainer to come to be a facilitator. So what happened was we started this tennis game. Department A, everybody will go and listen. Department B, Department C, everybody will go and listen. So over a course of 1 year, on average, a lot of people, especially managers and above, they get quite a good understanding of other departments' functional KPIs and value drivers, which you will never get access if you just stay in the accounting department and close the books. Okay, so this works for me. Of course, continuously going out to attend courses, industry meeting, P&C, always talk to people, P&C, business people, attend meeting, and start to give 1 or 2 advice slowly, Remember this? From here, we want to move into this, requires a lot more understanding of the whole business. So it's good that this tennis game method of teaching each other, gaining each other's trust, eventually is going to help us to understand it in a better context. Now, I know this very wise man once told me, he said, a lot of people are very shy about giving advice to the business people. You go, oh, you're better than me. No. If you stick back to the basic of PNC, all PNC are the same, right? The company, all PNC, their pain point, everybody also have their pain point, not served. And you can propose more creative way to help them. So don't worry about not, giving good advice. You have to start, to start, you don't have to be good, but to be good, you have to start. So don't afraid of that. Start to give some advice here and there, and slowly chalk up your experience and you're confident. So this is credibility. Last but not least, of course, end up with all the projects. The project one is something that works very well for me. We go to, for example, learning. Department A has that teaching session. Department B, C, D, E all go. At the end of it, we can do things like, what are one thing that we can do to help you better. And because of that, we started with the project accounting. Me and the engineering director, we had that discussion. He was telling me, my KPI is on-time delivery, sourcing for the innovative product, also to work better with marketing and production. So he told us and shared that business process. So eventually we came out with the project accounting to help him. He all came because of the training session, listening, know his pain point, and then reaching out and say, hey, what will work if we keep things in the project accounting basis? That happens to me. This was a very long process, and also improving the business analytics. Okay, so these projects came after the teaching session, after we get a more understanding and context. Okay, become expert in those functional areas, become the superhero. You have to tread very carefully, because when you get some knowledge about their functional area, we're all human, we might feel threatened sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes we might feel threatened. So it's very important for us to say who takes the credit and who takes the blame. I always like this, credit is definitely the department head, those functional head. Blame, I didn't do well, I forgot or missed out this. If you do this, in general, you're going to create a lot of trust. Things that the department improve as a result of collaboration. Attribute back to the operation head. He's very good, he's very good. Eventually people can see, it's definitely, project accounting is definitely a partnership between the commercial head and accounting. But when it was implemented, I would say, no, the engineering director was the one, he was the man, he was the man. You build trust. And then because of that, he helps you more. So that is something which works for me. And eventually the few things for finance business partner, the 10 scheme method, training, continuous training, cross-functional projects, and then learn about business model, value creation, our own self-learning. So these three things was the one that I did that helped me to transit into the more transformational, from transaction to transformational. Okay? So coming back to this pillar, what's the number? 11. Okay, we have the last bit, which I want to cover on the number 6. So the rest, we have no time. This is going to be very interesting, but maybe another time. And this one, I guarantee you, this is something. This is up and coming, because the storytelling. A lot of people are saying finance accounting people are damn boring. Every time you read variants, but with the proper storytelling technique, we can turn data into something very lively. So I'm going to just cover number 6. Sorry, I'll try my best today in the last section. Now, mindset. In our mind there are 2 areas of our brain. This frontal part, which is the dog. The dog normally looks at things in a very positive manner. There's this thing in the middle somewhere, is the snake. The snake is somebody who always says, don't do it, you're going to fail, don't do it. So in our mind, it's very conflicting. We always have this, let's do it. And this one, you hurt your body, you have to be careful, We have these 2. So the mindset change of these 2 working together is quite important for us to become finance business partner. Now I want to ask a question. Make a guess. When was Mount Everest ever conquered by man? Before that, right? Mount Everest, nobody has reached the summit. So when do you think that Mount Everest was conquered by people? When? Any idea? Be a guess, educated guess. This is not a trick question. Before anyone? At the back, any?
1860s.
1860s? Industrial Revolution dates. Any? When do you think Mount Everest was conquered? No idea. Nobody, no idea. I just googled and I found that it's 1953, 29th of May. This guy from New Zealand, he actually went up Mount Everest the very first time. And guess what? After he conquered Mount Everest, 6,664 people, I just googled it, December 2023, has conquered Mount Everest. It's very strange, human, the front part and the snake will say, oh, it's so dangerous, you lose your mind. The front part said, no, this is what I want to achieve, where I want to go. So, if one of you started to conquer Mount Everest as a business partner, more will join in the summit. I'm very sure about that. History always repeats itself. Mankind always repeats itself, I'm very sure. Because it's so demanding, combination of technical skill, interpersonal communication. So if one conquer, I'm very sure the whole momentum will bring everybody, support each other, help each other, share each other's issue, like the marketing director, share each other's issues and stuff that we have to conquer. So mindset change, I only have 5 things that I want to share with you. We are doing our tasks in our respective, maybe partition, our respective well. Don't forget always to look at the big picture. Understand the value creation, the PNC, and also look more at customers, employee, technology, the KPIs and the financials. This is very important. When we do our stuff, we still look at the big picture and see whatever we do can fit into the big picture. No point you do everything, then it doesn't fit into the big picture. It's not so efficient. The company also won't go so far. Everybody goes different direction, right? It doesn't work. But if we are very focused on the big picture, what we do, how we contribute to the organization as a whole. If you're not sure, feel free to ask your bosses. I think that's quite important to get the whole context. So when you do something, you consider more factors than just your functional area. And number 2, compliance to customer support. Now, the CEO normally is the one who presses the accelerator of a car. The CFO normally is the one compliance or risk management who press the brake. For you to have a brake, it's actually not for us to slow down. I look at it very differently. If you have a brake in a car, it's actually help you to drive faster. Have you heard of this before? Why? Because you know that no matter what happens, there's always a brake to slow things down, to make sure that things are happening the way it is before you knock into somebody or you go into traffic accident. Why? Because I have been hearing a lot, which I'm still hearing now. Most of the finance accounting people, they become compliance and risk. The slightest risk, hey, don't do this. No, cannot. You send me an email. We become so scared and so compliant that we forgot one of our functions. If the business can drive faster and receive more sales, create more value for the customer, then we should think of a way to support them rather than putting on our compliance lens. Press the brake, no, press the brake. Oh, don't acquire this company, cannot. The payback period is too long. No. What happens if the payback period is a strategic move? You can potentially even get more of the market through this move. But maybe the payback period doesn't look so nice. So pressing the brake every time may or may not help the business. So be mindful of that. Providing services. Now I give you the bookstore example. I was in the bookstore, and when I pay for a bookstore, there's this cashier. All he does is take my book, press, get my credit card, and say next. I remember in the past, I went to this very famous bookstore. It's not in Singapore anymore. Borders. I never forget. When I went to buy a book, there was this cashier. He came and said, "Hey, boss, Mr. Oh, this is one of our most sellable books. You made the right choice. Would you like to pay by cash or credit card?" Then when I was giving them the credit card, he said, "Oh, today we have this special items. It's one off only for this period of time. We have a very special discount. This is very highly desirable for most of our customers. Would you want to try?" So I look at it. How much is it? "Oh, for today, only for our customers, you have 20% discount. No, if you're buying this book, you get a 20% discount. Would you like to explore this?" Wow, she touches my heart through her service. Rather than the one that I've heard. Next, cash or credit card. So the service, if we change our mindset into servicing our corporate, our commercial people, that makes a big difference. You know, the bookstore example, seeing somebody next versus somebody who say, "Hey, hello, you bought one of the best books. You are so smart." No? Parents, right? We encourage our kids also the same way, right? Bookstore example. Third, develop a supportive mindset. Remember the drawings of the car and that supportive mindset. Sometimes certain things you bring out in the open, you communicate. Sometimes it's looking at your CEO when he's taking a pen and draw. Do you support him or do you draw a different direction with him? Right? These are something that we have to think about. I illustrate through the exercise. I hope you guys remember. Sometimes you take the lead, especially when you are the subject matter expert. But sometimes, that kind of thing, spoken or unspoken. Certain things are openly spoken. Some things the bosses just don't tell you so much because they have other consideration, right? I always respect that when they don't tell me everything. I know that they have certain consideration. But the pen and the paper, remember the exercise. They're very important for finance business partnering. Third, teaching to learning. We are all accounting, tax, cash flow, you name it, the domain expert. So in the past, when I go and speak to people, always center around this, then a lot of people say, "Hey, can you talk like a human or not? Can you don't tell me this? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Well, you tell me what accounting standard. Well, you tell me this accounting, this one cannot do." We talk in terms of business, we understand, and then we go and learn from them. This will add a lot of credibility to us. When we are learning from people, people opens up. Then we also could get more, we can help them more. Last two, working hard to create value. Everybody also work hard, I'm very sure. If you don't work hard, I don't think you're in the company. Be a bit more strategic. We can always put our mission and vision, no matter how small the area, be it financial accounting, be it tax or treasury or what. We can definitely craft our mission and vision and how in terms of 3 to 5 years, we can move towards finance business partnering. Of course, I'm saying about the automation of the routine work first. That has to happen first. If you don't do that, no way to do finance business. You're really so busy, like the man with all the ring files. So take it step by step and slowly build up your business acumen. This technique, if it works here, it's going to work anywhere in your career, anywhere. Trust me, anywhere. Now, even it works for me giving workshops of sharing all these ideas. It took me a long time to figure this out and to write this out. So I hope in this very short time you can benefit a lot. Working a job to focusing on career. This is the last one. Career is permanent. Job is temporary. Today you might be in this role, you might change the role within the company, or one day you might get other jobs, right? Nobody can see for sure, right? So it's very important to have your own 10-year goal, moving back to 5, 3, 1 year goal, and see how you're going to plan your career and what is your learning. Have that growth mindset. Anti-fragile, this one I don't have time to cover, but strong ties with external, know what is happening. US-China trade war, the dynamics, so you can do more recommendations. Okay, our last part, how much? 11.50. Okay, just nice. Now, I promise you, I'm going to share with you the Coca-Cola, the digital transformation. Now, this only happened, this is a website where I extracted. This only happened recently, April this year. They have, Coca-Cola has, 500 products, 200 countries. their soda, the main Coke sales is decreasing. So they use a 4-point digital transformation strategy. These 4 points: personalization, with technology more personalized, they know the customer behavior, whether they buy Coke, whether they buy some other products within the Coke family, personalize them. Operational transformation, data, accelerate and remove process, make it simpler. Business transformation, create disruption within the company. No, the Roman Empire is actually not destroyed by external forces. It's all because of infighting. So they are creating this disruption within the company so that people always push themselves, push the limit. All wanted to conquer Mount Everest. Culture, change, not seen as traditional brick and mortar, because Coke was, you buy the can of Coke, 7-Eleven, supermarket, So their successful digital transformation was 50% strategy, which is 1, 2, 3, and 50% culture. So culture factor is actually 50% of their success. So some countries, they have the personalized apps for their soda. Singapore, I don't think they have. Then they use machine learning, AI, all this to analyze the customer behavior, redeem loyalty points. Everybody's doing this, it's nothing special. But the special part is Coke has this academy. They've trained 500 people, nothing but just digital skills. Implemented more than 20 digital transformation projects and boosting their throughputs. That means from the production all the way to sales, they boost up their cost improvement by 20%. Coke is $1 billion company. 20% means a lot of money. The money fall on me, I'll die. Academy. This Coke Academy now is training 4,000 employees in digital skill, and then they're deploying them into different areas in their global operations. Okay, all these are all here. So in April, Microsoft, Coke actually migrated all their applications to Microsoft Azure. They are going to use generative AI, and generative AI is going to retain everything from marketing, manufacturing, supply chain, accounting, everything. They're going to put everything into the database. Then they're going to use generative AI to easily extract information, plan their marketing campaign. Next time, finance, accounting, our 5-year trend. Listed company always have to do 5-year trend, future plan or whatever. They use generative AI to generate all these numbers already. Just talking can generate all these numbers. Customer experience, streamline operation, and foster innovation. You want to know more details? This was the April article was just released. Now, keep track of this. In 1 year's time, Coke is going to release more public information on their journey of using generative AI and technology to transform their business. Since now you guys are also going through this process, keep a lookout of Coke, and then some of the good examples that they have come up with, you can actually use for your journey, your coming journey. That's all I have. Is it? Okay, with 5 minutes left. This is a survey form. If you feel uncomfortable, don't have to put your name. But I do need a survey. What have I done well? What have I not done well? And stuff like that. Please help me to scan. You don't have to put your name. Don't have to put your contacts. Just help me do a survey.